Welcome to another edition of the Dementia Care Partner Talk Show. Now, here's dementia care expert Teepa and your host, Greg Phelps.
Hello and welcome to the Dementia Care Partners podcast, brought to you by Tover, the creators of the Tover Table. The Tover Table promotes more joyful social connections for seniors living with dementia through its wide range of interactive games. Developed with seniors and care professionals, Tover Table's games are designed to suit different stages of dementia and times of day. Discover more about the Tover Table and the power of purposeful play at www.tover.care/US.
My name is Greg Phelps, and joining me once again is Teepa Snow. Teepa, I recently read an article on early warning signs of dementia, confusion with time and place, challenges understanding visual information, speech issues, misplacing personal items, problem solving, poor judgment, and memory loss. Just wondering how many of us are sitting there going, well, I got that.
Yeah, it's really tricky because if we don't have a baseline, a true baseline on ourselves, how can we know?
What do you mean a baseline?
A baseline, I mean, like, what is your ability to, so give me one of the symptoms there, Greg.
So where am I at now? Okay, understanding visual information, speech issues.
Okay, so understanding visual information. If I don't have a baseline on how you take in visual data and understand it, how would I know if I'm changing or not? Because honestly, we have a practice, we do things a certain way. So I may have problems with vision. Well, that doesn't mean that I'm developing a brain change other than my eyes aren't as clear and sharp as they used to. So maybe I need to go get my eyes checked. But maybe even when I look at the words, I'm having trouble interpreting the words. Or maybe the problem is that I'm looking at a picture and I'm wondering, what does that mean? But if I've always had trouble with stuff, it's really important to know the difference. But if somebody doesn't know that about me and then they test me, they could think, oh, she's really impaired, or wow, she's really great. But if you don't know how I've been before, you're guesstimating that based on some quote unquote norm. And if I happen to have challenges in parts of my brain that allow me to be accurate in what I think and believe about myself, given where I'm at, that could be a real problem because I think I'm fine. I'm not noticing the difference and somebody else is noticing it. So all these symptoms, they can be concerning, but I'd say the biggest challenge I see is that we don't know what people's baseline is. And so, Greg, what like when you say, oh my, I think I might have this, it's like, so are you noticing something about yourself different? Or is somebody pointing it out to you? Because without that, I think it's sort of like, well, older people get dementia more often. And it's like, true, but not all older people are going to get dementia. And sometimes younger people get those symptoms. And so, I worry about these warning sign things when they're just posted, like there's this check. And it's like, has it changed for you in the last 6 months? Would you say your ability to take in visual data has changed significantly in the last 6 months?
So these things are good markers to be aware of.
Mm-hmm.
But if I'm sitting here going, well, I only got 3 out of the 7 that they listed, so I'm still good. It doesn't. It's information, but it doesn't really. So how do you take it to the next level to make it actually useful if you're sort of a person who wants to process information like this?
Yeah, so I'd say, so Greg, so it sounds like you've got about 3 things out of the 7 that you're going, yeah, but the other I'm fine on, right? Is that what I heard you saying?
Yeah.
Okay, so on those 3 that you noticed a change in, describe what you've noticed. Tell me a little bit about where in your life it's affecting you, if it is, or if it's just, tell me more.
Misplacing personal items could be a real problem. So I misplaced my keys all the time, and then I can't find my wallet. And
okay, so now here's my question. Is it more than it used to be or different than it used to be?
Oh, I've never been able to find things.
Okay. So if I were to ask your significant other, let's say Miss Charlene, what's her take on this? Do you think I'd get the same answer you just gave me? Or would I say, well, he's gotten he's gotten a little more, it's more significant than it
Well, she
used to.
tells me it's getting worse, but I think she's full of it.
So you think she's just not
I think
necessarily accurate on.
sometimes I think she's hiding things on me just to sort of prove her
Ah,
point.
okay. So sometimes it feels like she's actually making it worse for you. Huh. Now, has she done stuff like that historically? Was she a trickster before where she would go
Well,
around and hide things on you?
sometimes I look back and I think maybe she might have done some of those things.
She might have. Okay. So this is sort of a way back that you're thinking, wow. So this has been going on for a bit that you're wondering about her and her role in all this. Yeah.
So
So
you
so
have
as
to
a
take it.
practitioner, as a practitioner, I must say, I'm going, well, I want to get more curious here. And I really do want to explore what's happening here because that in and of itself is not a typical aging reaction. So it says to me, "Ooh, there's a little more under the covers here than Greg is aware of. And I don't think he's in denial. I mean, that's the tricky part. It's not this famous word denial. I think Greg's unaware of the possibilities that it's his own brain that is doing this and
So
not.
Teepa has this great skill set, and she can ask these nice questions that didn't make me feel threatened. Whereas in a lot of family situations, it's not like that. Well, where the hell did you put your keys this time, you old coot?
Hide the keys, Greg. That's ridiculous. I mean, I don't hide your keys. You're the one who loses them. Oh my
Well,
gosh.
somebody has the damn things, and I
Well,
think it's
it's
you.
not me.
There's nobody here but me and you, and the
Well, it's
fight's on.
not me. And we get,
Mm.
and so this is where by the time, unfortunately, I'm going to say the biggest challenge is by the time we finally get to a place where I can't do this anymore. I mean, he's just constantly, I mean, ugh, what we end up with is we think it's a relationship problem, and it is, but we're missing what's causing the relationship problem. Um, and it, and unfortunately, that makes it harder for me to then say, hey, Greg, how about we go and get somebody to look at this to see what the heck is going on with us? Because, and then it's like, well, I don't want to go to therapy. Well, it's not actually therapy I was talking about. I think there's something happening. I mean, and then how do you bring it up? Because we built walls instead of bridges of communication here.
And then, of course, there's the famous go to the doctor, and the doctor says, I'm fine, because I answered all
You
of
can't
his,
see
her
me. I am
questions.
banging my head against the desk. I am just literally go, please don't do this. If somebody cared enough to come in, get curious, ask both people in separate places and find out, do some significant understanding. Don't jump to the, oh, she's just anxious, he's just depressed. They just don't get, I mean, please don't say it's okay with a silly paper pencil ask some questions test when you're hearing in real life something is not right in their life.
Or worse still, they come out with a prescription for some sort of
Oh,
drug that is not
yeah.
necessarily going to solve the problem. So,
Yeah, it's not a quick fix situation. It should be a curiosity inducing situation. And I think all too often we're just trying to put another cork in a hole, and we haven't looked at the whole thing and gone, oh, look at how many corks and how many holes are up here. I think we've got something else going on until we end up in an emergency room visit or we end up with a significant episode of distress that results in somebody doing something that they would never have considered doing, but they're at their wits end, or they become unable to function. And now we're having to do emergency intervention, including a new place, new partners, new care situation. And it could have been so much easier if we had noticed from the beginning that,
so
you know what?
speaking of curiosity, Teepa, I hope we did sort of a rambling
Yeah.
topic this morning, but I hope what we did was we made people a little curious, and that they're actually going to take the time and reach out, and you actually offer some services to people who do reach out. They don't quite know where to go.
Yeah, because what we know is what you are experiencing isn't typical for just typical aging, but there are a lot of things it could be that have nothing to do with dementia and possibly a fair amount to do with life isn't going well right now. And the setting and the situation, they're not matching what you need anymore. And so looking at that could actually buy you time of living better and living well. And it could be it's dementia. I'm not saying it isn't, but I'm saying we got to get more curious and less fearful. and less authoritative and more interested in the possibilities.
Teepa, thank you very much.
Thanks, Greg.
You've been listening to the Dementia Care Partners podcast. For more information on today's program, go to teepasnow.com.
Hi, I'm Teepa Snow, and you just found our YouTube channel and watched one of our videos. I'm the owner and founder of Positive Approach to Care. Thanks for watching, and if you liked, if you have a comment about, or you would, please share it with people you know. Oh, and if you haven't yet done it, consider subscribing. We'll let you know when the next new video comes out, and you might want to visit our website, www.teepasnow.com, where you'll find other resources as well. See you there.